Hi there, my name is Tracy, and this is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel. I am so excited to have you join me today. I got my Goose Creek delivery of the Strawberry Shortcake line. I did already open the box because I had some additional candles that aren't a part of that series that I wanted to pull out. I have, I think, 5 additional ones. I'm going to do that in a separate haul video, probably sometime this weekend, maybe early next week. I do want to share those with you because I haven't sniffed them yet and I want to capture my cold impressions with you, and I think all of those are new to me. The Strawberry Shortcake line, all but one, is new to me. So last year I only was able to get the Raspberry Tart fragrance, and that was because all the other ones had sold out when I started shopping at Goose Creek. I think it's probably just a relabel. I don't think they changed the scent notes. We'll see today when I sniff it on cold. The other thing I wanted to mention was that Goose Creek sent me a text message this morning and said that you could get an extra 10% off of the Strawberry Shortcake series, and that makes them, at their current price, to bring it down to I think like roughly $11.20, $11.25, something like that. And you just use the code EXTRA10 and make sure extra is in all caps. And that's not an ambassador code or an affiliation code. I don't profit from you using that. It's just something they texted me that I want to share with you, just in case you don't get their texts, then you'll know you can use that code. And I assume it's a multiple use code because it's very simple and I think everyone probably got the same one. So that's for 10% off of any of the collab candles with Strawberry Shortcake. The other thing I want to highlight about this particular collab is that the scent notes don't seem to necessarily align with the name of the characters. So if you're not familiar with Strawberry Shortcake, they have a character, for example, named Orange Blossom, and you would expect maybe the Orange Blossom candle to smell like orange blossom. You'll find with the scent notes that's not what it's going to smell like. Or Custard, you might assume, smells like pudding, but Custard is the name of the character, whereas the scent notes are not necessarily directly linked. So that's just something to keep in mind. Make sure you pay attention to the scent notes. And then also, I did discover that 2 of these candles are exactly the same in terms of scent notes. They just have different labels. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You probably don't need all 8 unless you really like that one candle and those scent notes. So let's go ahead and open this up. We'll pull out our first one. And we're going to start with, of course, my favorite scent of all time, Blueberry Muffin. And this was the Strawberry Shortcake doll that I had as a kid. Of course, I love blue, so this is the one my mom got me when I was a little kid. The label on this is adorable. You've got the little strawberries field underneath the house. The back of the label is just a grassy field with some trees. Big ol' sunshine back there. I do wish this had maybe some blueberries in the image, but cute anyways. All of the candles in this series come with a gold lid, and then they all have the kind of creamy white wax with ropey wicks that are a little bit thinner than like the really ropey ones, and they're stiff. They're like coated in some wax to help solidify them and keep them strong. I also did check all of the batch dates on these, and these were all poured in 2025. So this is not like what happened with the Peter Rabbit series. These are not old candles that they've just re-released and sent back out. These are actually re-poured, fresh pour, new candles, new labels, but same fragrances. And I think with this series, they didn't bring back I think it's the Huckleberry fragrance. So that one's missing from the series this time around. The scent notes on Blueberry Muffin are juicy blueberries, warm muffin, light butter, and sugar crystals. Yum, yum, yum. I love blueberries so much, y'all. My heart is like warming and getting really excited. I feel like everything, the dopamine's flowing, and my body is like, yes. But then the like rational part of my brain is like, hold on. Do you remember what happened with Bunny Blueberry Cream? You loved the smell and it had no throw. I'll reserve judgment until I burn it. I love how this smells on cold. The blueberry is really juicy. It almost has like a jammy quality to it, but it's not blueberry jam. It's like what you would think of in a literal blueberry muffin or a blueberry baked good, where like the sugar and the fruit juice is kind of blended together just to make this like syrupy, gooey blueberry flavor. And you do get a baked note. I don't know that I would identify it specifically as a muffin note, but it's definitely like a baked good fragrance, and it's not too artificial. It's just a little bit buttery and feels like a little bit like crispy buttery, like a browned baked note. Really pretty. I am going to burn all of these and do a lit review, so the first impressions on warm video update that I'll post on Friday. Normally I would do it tomorrow, but tomorrow is my weekend deals video, so the lit review will come out Friday with my warm updates. I'm hoping this one will perform because it's delicious on cold. We'll see. Fingers crossed. The next one is Strawberry Shortcake. And there she is on the front in her little house. This one has also a nature scene, white picket fence with strawberries growing along it. Nice, beautiful blue sky with clouds. And then we've got here, is that Custard or Lemon Meringue? I'm not super familiar with the characters, but you've got another one there. They're just chilling out front. And then I forget, what's the cat's name? Y'all help me out. I don't remember what the cat's name is. I'll have to look it up. Scent notes on this one are juicy pink strawberry, fluffy shortcake, strawberry glaze, and whipped cream. Yum. Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of Bath and Body Works pound cake, strawberry pound cake. But there is a difference. This one has a much juicier strawberry. Yeah, but you get it's like the whipped cream icing note, but it's also much more fruity in terms of the strawberry. Actually, I'm going to go grab that candle. Be right back. I grabbed my strawberry pound cake from Bath and Body Works. I just hauled this in yesterday's video. I'll put the link in the description in case you want to check that out. And I did look, the scent notes are very similar. So this one, Bath and Body Works, has fresh picked strawberries. This one is juicy pink. They both have shortcake, but this one is golden shortcake and this one is fluffy shortcake. They both have whipped cream, and then this one has a strawberry glaze scent note. And this one I do think smells glazy. In fact, that might be one of the reasons why I think it maybe smells a little bit inauthentic to people, is this almost feels more like a strawberry confectioner's like artificial strawberry flavor, where I feel like this one is much more fresh, fruity flavor or scent. I like this one better if I had to choose between the two. Yeah, you just get this like, it's like a little bit of like tartness with the strawberry, but also this like really sugary, gooey sweetness from the fruit. And it's almost like if you make strawberry shortcake and you macerate the strawberries and then you add in some sugar to it and you kind of stir it up and let it sit for like an hour, and it gets that like really syrupy, juicy deliciousness. That's what this smells like, with just a hint of like a shortbread or an angel food cake, some sort of baked note in the background. Yeah, I'm gonna like that one. That one's really delicious. And this one, by the way, is the same as, let me find it. Exact same candle, same scent notes, smells exactly the same on cold as the Best Friends. So you don't need both of these unless you want them for the collection. I ordered both because I completionist in me, I wanted all of them. They are the exact same scent notes though. Both are juicy pink strawberry, both have fluffy shortcake, both have strawberry glaze, and both have whipped cream. I do feel like maybe this is just a little bit of a cop-out on Goose Creek's like you could have done better. I think this would have been a really amazing opportunity to do like some sort of like fruit salad or fruit punch blend and had some apricot and blueberry, peach and strawberry all together in some sort of delicious fruity gourmand candle, instead of just doing the exact same candle with a different name. And I know that Goose Creek does like the same candle but different labels. So for example, Cool Raindrops I think is out right now with 3 different labels at the moment. But they're all called Cool Raindrops, so there's no confusion about the scent that you're getting. Whereas with these two, they have different labels and different names, but it's the exact same candle. And I think if you're not paying attention, you're not reading the scent notes, you might just order both of these and not realize, and then be stuck with one of them. Now, you can return one of these if you want, but I will say I've been hearing some chatter, not only through my emails, but also on the subreddit, my Instagram. I'm trying to think. Y'all are talking to me about the issues you've had with Goose Creek returns lately. They were a little bit grumpy, I think is the best way to word it, with me about returning the Midnight Vanilla candle. That's been probably a month ago, 6 weeks ago. And they just kind of said like, oh, well, we don't do that, but we'll do it this one time. I'm like, well, that's interesting because you've always done it in the past and you've never told me it's not something that you do, but that's fine. And then another one of y'all told me that you reached out because you picked up the Strawberry Fields Peter Rabbit and you had that same experience. It smelled like fuel. It was gross on cold. And they only offered you a $5 gift card and made the claim that that's what they offer for licensed candles, which isn't my experience. I returned, I think, 3 of the Scooby-Doo candles and got full credit. So I don't know. There's issues with if you've lamped them, they're being grumpy about taking those back now. So just be cautious. It sounds like maybe they're clamping down on their return policy and making it more difficult, which makes absolutely no sense because you don't have a storefront. We can't smell these. If I wasn't paying attention, I wouldn't know that this is the exact same candle as the Strawberry Shortcake, and I would want to return it if I wasn't a completionist. So make sure you're reading your scent notes. Advocate for yourself with customer service. Obviously, you'll respect them, but be like, hey, I didn't know that was the policy. Can you make a one-time exception? And I think usually they'll work with you. Just something to ponder. Next one is Orange Blossom. Now this is the one where I'd say, if you were expecting this to smell like the floral Orange Blossom, which is a very, very sharp white floral with a little bit of sweetness kind of in there, you will be disappointed. This is the name of the character. This is Orange Blossom here. So the scent notes are actually kind of detached from that. I love the sunshine on this one. It is orange scented, but it does not smell like orange blossoms. Scent notes are bright orange, cream soda, vanilla, sugar, and soft fizz. I get the citrus. Okay, so I think what they were going for was like an orange soda, and I definitely get that vibe. It does smell a little bit like a Faggo orange, or was it Sunkist has an orange soda? The citrus almost goes too sharp. Sometimes I feel like citrus candles can be so sharp that they almost smell medicinal, like eating a chewable vitamin medicinal. This one's super close to that point, but not quite there. And I think that cream that's in it is helping to balance some of that sharpness without adding a lot of richness. So you just get this kind of light, creamy orange fragrance, and it's juicy. It's a really juicy orange. I would almost liken this to like a sherbet, like an orange sherbet, or I think you could even liken this to an orange sorbet, something really light, but also very juicy and fruity. Yeah, that's really pretty. My husband's going to love that. I like it too for citrus. I'm ready to try that. Next one, Lemon Meringue. This one, I think that is her name, if I recall. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, so her name is actually Lemon Meringue. That's Lemon Meringue there on the front. I love how she's primping. She's got her little mirror, and then is that like a toad or a frog? He's also got the little mirror there primping as well. So cute. You got the big old lemon on the front. So Lemon Meringue is a character, but this one they actually went with scent notes that align with the scent name. Same with Blueberry Muffin, right? The Blueberry Muffin aligns, but the Custard one doesn't, and the Orange Blossom one doesn't. This one is bright lemon, dense meringue, sparkling sugar, and whipped cream. This is delicious. This smells almost exactly like iced lemon pound cake from Bath & Body Works. On cold anyway. Yeah, I get you get the lemon. It's juicy and sweet. It's not like too sharp like a zest. It definitely feels more like you've juiced a lemon and added some sugar to it, almost like a lemonade. But then there's a creaminess to it. I don't know if I think meringue automatically. It does almost feel like a vanilla icing, but it's definitely not like a glaze, and it's not a buttercream. Yeah, just like a sugary warmth, creaminess, but very light, which is probably why they're calling it meringue. Although they're calling it dense meringue, so that would make sense. It's almost like so dense that it's more of like a frosting. Yeah, that's really good. Husband will like that one too. Lots of lovely summer fruit fragrances. Okay, next one is Custard, and it's just hitting me, y'all. Hello. The cat's name is Custard. So, although I will say I would have been completely down for them to have included like a musky candle that, you know, smells like dusty pancakes, cat related, but they didn't. So this one is not Custard fragranced, but it is named after Custard the cat. And then you've got Strawberry Shortcake here coming down off the rainbow. And this one has blue sky with clouds instead of the grassy scene with the fence. And then I love the little homes there. Look at those homes. I love this little blueberry muffin house. Fruit house. It looks like an apple tree or a strawberry tree. Yeah, that's adorable. Okay, this one, pink strawberry, dense vanilla cream, soft butter, and melted vanilla sugar. Okay, yeah, they're different. They're very similar, y'all. They both have pink strawberry. The best friends in the Strawberry Shortcake one is juicy pink strawberry, whereas this one just says pink strawberry. They both have some sort of sugar element. This one is melted vanilla sugar, and this one is a glaze, a strawberry glaze. They're close, so I would say if you like Strawberry Pound Cake from Bath & Body Works, you would like either of these. This one and the Strawberry Shortcake is going to be a juicier, fruity vibe. This one smells a lot like Strawberry Pound Cake as well, but you get more of like a buttercream note instead of an icing. So it doesn't have that like light vanilla icing sugary note. Instead, it's a heavier note that does smell like a buttercream. And it does note soft butter, which is what you would put in a buttercream frosting. And it notes vanilla and sugar, which is also what would be in a buttercream frosting and cream. Yeah, this is like strawberry frosting. It's good. It feels very heavy and very gourmandy. I think on warm it's probably going to be amazing. On cold it's smelling a bit rich. Still excited to try that though. Although I'm thinking like, I don't know if we needed 3 strawberry ones that smell very similar. Okay, next one is Apricot. Again, that's Apricot here, so it is a character's name. They did include Apricot in a scent note on this one. So the character represents the scent notes and the name on the jar as well. This one's baked tart, warm sugar, sweet apricot, peach, and sugar. I don't know if I like this one, y'all. What is the baked note in there? So it says baked tart. This doesn't really smell like a tart to me. I tend to think of a tart as either like a single layer pie crust that gets kind of additionally crunchy on the edges, or I think of it as like having a cookie crust or a graham cracker crust, something that's a little bit coarser and thicker. And this just kind of smells, it's like ambiguous. I feel like I can't tell what the baked note in it is supposed to be. And I feel like it's a bit artificial. It's not horrible, like nothing compared to the Betty Crocker line. Sorry, no offense, but I do not like that series at all. I felt like a lot of that was very artificial. It's not that bad. It doesn't push those boundaries. But it's just enough for me to think, I don't know if I'm going to like this one on warm. Hopefully it gets mellowed out by the fruit, because you do get a good balance of peach and apricot. Peach can sometimes be too sharp and almost feel like urine to me. It can just be really strong and really high pitched. And that you get like a tinge of that in here that feels kind of like sour bright, but then I feel like it's complemented by the apricot, which just smells a little bit more gooey and fruity and lighter. Yeah, it's just that baked note that puts me off a little bit. Everything else pretty delicious on that one. That's apricot. Last one, Raspberry Tart. And this is a repurchase for me. So I had this one last year, bought it in the fall clearance, burned it in my February rotation. I'll put a picture of it up here so you can see what the label looked like. A little bit different. And it actually has the raspberry tart character on here with, looks like strawberries growing in the field. Maybe it's supposed to be raspberries, but those look like strawberries to me. So there's strawberry tart. And then you've got the little custard and the doggy down there in a picking basket floating downstream. Scent notes are pink raspberry, sparkling sugar, warm tart, and vanilla bean. You do not get the same tart note at all in this one. Yeah, it's not present. Which is good because I don't like it in the apricot. This one, it says warm tart, but I don't get a bake note. And when I burned this in February, assuming it's the same, scent notes are the same, it did not smell like a tart at all. In fact, I don't even know that I was conscious that tart was a scent note in there. So this one is just, the raspberry is just like a hint of tartness, of brightness, but then it's also very ripe and juicy and fruity at the same time. Really pretty in terms of a raspberry note. And then you do get the sense of like a sparkling sugar. Like I think of those like big like chunks of sugar that add like a crunch, a little bit of sweetness, but not like a syrup or like a frosting or icing. The vanilla, I don't get much vanilla, honestly. And when I burned this in February, it reminded me a lot of Bath and Body Works raspberry. Is it raspberry and prosecco? I'll put a picture up here. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But happy to have this one. I'm glad that I was able to repurchase it because I did really like it in the February burn rotation. I don't think that that's where I'll put it going forward just because this label is so different and does not scream Valentine's Day to me. This will probably end up being in a summer rotation instead. So cute. All right, y'all, that is all 8 of the Strawberry Shortcake candles. Which ones are you excited about? Are any of these going to be repurchases for you? How do you feel about them on warm? Do they vary from cold? I'd love to have some insights there on how you've experienced these. Go ahead and put those in the comment boxes below. Again, I'll have my lit review out in a couple of days on my first impression burns of all of these. And don't forget, you can save 10% off of this collab with the coupon code EXTRA10. I don't know how long that lasts for, so I wouldn't camp on it. If you want these, just go ahead and snag them with that coupon code. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here and supporting my channel. If you are a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, please take a minute, just hit that subscribe button. And if you want to receive notifications of when I release new content, which is pretty much every day, go ahead and make sure you select the bell icon there, and that will make sure that you get notified as soon as I publish my new videos. I will see you again tomorrow. I'm so excited to share everything that's going on at Goose Creek with you in my weekend deals episode, and that'll be probably tomorrow, early afternoon Pacific Coast time. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.